We're live.
Bam.
Alright. I will put up some music and we shall begin.
Escuchar música. That means to listen to music.
Well done.
Thanks. I remember
Do
that
I
from high school Spanish.
I have enough spell slots to kill some guards.
Wait, what?
No, down boy.
Grr.
Alright. Previously in the Stained Glass Lands, the party, after encountering a meteor shower in the city-state of the Twin Blades cities, began their adventures northward to the sky city of Estelheim. Along the way, you encountered numerous creatures and individuals who might complicate the way northwards, but eventually you made it to the grand city of Ilisker, the home of the prime. The home of the prime temple towards the deity of luck, the chaotic neutral deity of the tabaxi, luck of the draw. At the behest of a notorious cataloger of cultures in the Stained Glass Lands, an Orm-thrown wolf named Siren Bell, who has produced numerous tales and writings of all varied varieties. You were invited to the Silksong Inn at a row of mansions known as the Scale Mansions, sort of the upper crust of Ilisker itself. And mingling around with the denizens of Ilisker, you eventually made it to the temple, spoke with the head priest there, who, after being requested to have entry to the prized vineyards, where the winery owned by a tabaxi known as Binds the Barrels was producing a wine that led to a duel with Siren Bell. He spoke of a few certain items needed to get more dice into your hands to throw on the ground and see if whatever luck is on your side allows you to earn the Templar's favor. Let me see. The tasks that he requested you complete involved obtaining a statue from a tavern known as the Dancing Dryad, to obtain a framed cutlass, which gives the namesake of the Salthrust Cutlass Tavern, an admission of guilt from the proprietor of an upper-class mix between a library and a brothel named the Brothel of Slaking Intellectual Lusts, and fourth, the recipe to a potion of artificial luck that you obtained after entering the what was the name of the tavern? Idelez's elixirs, in which each elixir you drank had some additional spontaneous magical effect. For one reason or another, you decided to A, humble Siren's request to help him escape this duel he's gotten himself into, and B, you decided to visit Idelez's elixirs first, get quite drunk, some of you, and have a unique blend of effects, especially when you read. So, you've made your way back to the Silksong Inn, all of you in one piece and more or less stable states of mind. What is it you'd like to do? Discuss, make plans for the future, leave, continue.
Are we back in our room?
Yeah, it's easy enough to head up the rather nice marble staircases and weather the glares of some servants who didn't expect a Kenku and an Ignan to be strolling through. But you're able to, readily enough.
Especially an Ignan that's currently neon blue.
And sneezing bolts of lightning.
Even more of a fire hazard. I love it.
Um, so I believe it was Shane who herded us all back to the inn.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Awkward silence.
As usual, the rooms inside are lined in white silks, much more luxury than most of you have seen in your entire lives, concentrated in a single room. But it's easy enough to gather inside this inn and have a discussion, if you like. Figure out what you're doing next, what your next steps are.
Okay, now nobody go anywhere until we leave in the morning.
Are you certain that we should stay here for a half day while those chasing us gain ground?
Fenton is antsy. I think as soon as we got in the room, he went out on the balcony, kind of pacing out there.
Oh god, who let him have balcony access? He has wings. Balconies don't mean anything to him.
Put the leash on him.
Why should we wait? There are things to do here yet, and travel to be had later.
What things do we still have to do here
I
that isn't getting involved in local politics?
I have food to serve. I have something I must do to make use of reagents while we are in a populated place.
Those words together concern me.
Yeah.
No. Oh. Okay.
What is it you're casting Detect Magic on?
Well, everything. I mean, around me in the specifically, I'm fishing for anything on the dice.
Alright. You extend your senses outside and rests on the 2 golden dice in your pocket. There is a strong aura of universal magic on each of them independently.
Universal being magic from numerous schools.
Is universal not a thing in 5th edition? No, I guess it's
It
not.
is not. You're going to have to explain something.
Correct. It's essentially the underlying foundation behind the sources of magic that are individually distorted by their individual schools. It is omnipresent, prevalent, any wizard can cast them. They are the most basic of incantations, but also some of the most unbreakable. They faintly buzz when you attune your senses to them. They kind of vibrate in your palm as if aching to be thrown.
Like the tempting deck of many things.
Roll them, and they will know what the result is. You can't hide it.
Don't roll the dice.
Well, I guess while Fenton's out there on his own, I do believe that Reed's previous statement might have a bit more pressing concern than we may think. He looks over at Lawrence. When Lore and I were in the headquarters of the Grassbloods, they said something that was uneasy. They knew
I would be coming here. They mentioned us going to Estelheim before Lorenz even said so. Somehow they knew our destination.
I mean, we've told many people we're going to Estelheim, haven't we?
We have told many people, yes. But how many of those would go to the Crossbloods and give that information to them?
Probably the cyclic order.
Not only that, the Crossbloods also had the foresight to have a letter delivered here, addressed to me, before I even arrived in the city. I do not know how much of this could be coincidence. Either way, it makes me uneasy with our safety here.
Our plan can take one of two forms. We can trust in force and ensure that the upcoming encounters will be in our favor, or we can create enough chaos or trust in enough chaos that they cannot reach us. This decision mirrors the decision between the path through the Ochre Kingdom and the path through Talani.
The Crossbloods have a much more higher presence in Tilani, I believe. There is a lot of work for them there.
Yes. But at the same time, Talani is much more unkind to even them. I have not been to the Ochre Kingdom. I only know rumors.
Still, it makes me worry that they have some way of following or listening. I do not think the Crossbloods have that much in the way of gathering such information quickly. At least nothing that I have seen in my time with them. They knew you were in the Twin Blades Reed before I even knew you were in the Twin Blades.
There is magic that can do that.
He reaches into his bag and he pulls out the green cloak of the Crossbloods and just like holds it up, scrutinizing it, looking at like all the dirt and the scuffs and the worn edges of it from the years of wearing it around.
Are you searching for traces of magic or some sort of tracking device?
He's just turning it over. He's not really sure what to look for, not being magically inclined himself.
Would
Fair enough.
Fenton be able to see something?
Fenton, with that detect magic, you would be able to determine that there is no magic emanating from this cloak itself now. But what you do see from your perch on the windowsill of this balcony on this hill leading sort of at a downward slope to Illisker, trekking up the dirt trail,
Oh boy.
the familiar face and figure of a female tabaxi, solitary on her own. You recognize it's distantly to be Taraji. She appears to be in some sort of just a brisk walk, not worried, but definitely traveling quite quickly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Immediately, I mean, as soon as I clock her, I'm gonna fly off the balcony. I'm gonna, without even looking back at the party, go there.
As soon as Chain hears like the flapping of wings, he's just gonna turn like around. No! God damn it!
And you fly far, and soon you can see her sort of turn her golden eyes up and sort of glitter and widen. She kind of extends her arms as the sight of you becomes visible on the horizon, and she just calls out, Fenton!
Taraji, what? I'm gonna land as quickly as possible and pull her into a hug if she will let me.
She absolutely does. She wraps her arms around you, very, very tightly presses on it. And she just says, I didn't know you'd be here. I knew that you were on your way to Estelheim, but I left the others so I could try to find you. I'm more brisk than most of them. Why? What are you doing in the Silk Song?
Well, it's a bit of a long story, Taraji. Wow, I did not expect to see you today. First off, fantastic to see you. I hope you are well. I am glad that you heeded my warning, my call. Funnily enough, Sierra and Bell put us up in the Silk Song.
Interesting. Of course, I trust you fully. Come, let's sit down somewhere. And she begins sort of pulling you in the direction of the Skell Mansion, talking as she is walking. What happened? What concerned you so badly that you had to call upon the pair?
Taraji, have you heard of news from the Twin Blades?
Twin Blades, yes, the stars cascaded down. It has caused some stir in New Kylax, but mostly because of the implications of the nearby kingdom and, of course, the Valpinals. But why? What caused you that much concern for you?
Well, I'm with a group at the moment, and we were in the Twin Blades. I can confirm the events that happened there, Taraji, but we've been traveling now to Estelheim as part of searching for answers, and with the rumors of war popping up as we entered Curis,
Of course.
we got in a bit of a predicament. When was the last time you saw, like on my own characters, my teacher's name is
Allah?
Kala, thank you.
Kaladima.
Too
Says the
excited.
Kenku.
When was the last time you saw Kala?
I don't know. She left Obidus. It was a tragedy for us all, but she wanted to see more.
I bumped into her in Curis, Taraji, and there's some awful plot there that she's been wrapped into, and the Baron Ensei and the Lord of Curis, on the night of a war being announced that's going to affect New Kylax in God's know how many ways, he committed a slaughter there, Taraji, and I don't feel like anyone is safe in New Kylax any longer.
You can see her eyes kind of widen, placing a hand briefly on her mouth. That's terrible news. You're saying the Baron wants to watch New Kylax Baron?
I am confident as much. I mean, not that it's a surprise necessarily, but seeing it firsthand at such a tumultuous time, it's greatly upsetting. And
So,
yes,
who are you traveling with now?
I don't even know how to describe them. I'd be happy to introduce you to them. All of us were an interesting group in perhaps the right place, perhaps the wrong place at the right time, wrong time in the Twin Blades, and so we've agreed to travel together at least as far as Estelheim to learn more.
Can see her kind of glance left or right and sort of furrow her brow slightly. Fenton, there is one thing I'm curious about, and just mostly the reason that I have decided to risk coming to you directly. She kind of steps into an alleyway between two of the mansions, and there's what did you see in in the Curious Mangrove? What precisely?
We were invited to a ball, a celebration of the war itself being declared, and if that wasn't distasteful enough, I did perform there, and there was another performer as well, Lord Curious himself. His music had a mind-controlling effect, and all of the lower nobles were caught up in a brawl between mind-controlled individuals and members of the choir and ourselves.
Briefly, what are the rest of you doing in this current instance?
Reed currently has a blindfold on.
Wondering what everyone else's reaction is first before acting.
Chain is mimicking expletives.
Oren's just huddled in a blanket.
Leora is looking out the window in the direction in which Fenton flew, and turning to Chain and asking, should we go after him or babysit?
I'm not chasing
the
that
rest of
fucking
them?
bird. If he wants to get himself killed, then fine by me.
I can't just let him die, though, if something happens.
I can. We've been trying to corral him for the better part of the last 2 hours.
Foshkra, can you lead me outside?
For what purpose, Reed? Other than to get out of this place that makes you ill.
Precisely what Chain said. Except I'm not afraid to state that I care about this mission.
So you wish to go after Fenton?
Yes.
He looks between Leora and Reed, and then back over to Chain, and just kind of
Very well.
places a hand on Reed's shoulder and guides him back downstairs and out the door.
Alright, two of you are heading out.
The
Taraji,
elderly Noel and his seeing eye lizard.
Taraji takes a step closer to you, and you can hear her voice kind of drop to a whisper, and she asks, "Did you see the Lord?"
I did, yes. The elusive Lord of Curious Mangrove. I saw him firsthand.
And Fenton, I insist, did he remind you of one of your current compatriots?
Oh shit.
So Raji, with...
What is your current armor class, Fenton?
Oh boy, before I can ask a
Oh,
question,
no.
you do. 14. Is my detect magic still up? I'm going to ask you in return.
It's been up, I'd say. Have you
Yeah.
used it, though?
I am going to, with her saying that, focus back in onto that spell, yes.
In the brief instance that your detect magic sort of peels outward to focus on this figure of Taraji, a strong aura of transmutation magic can be felt from this presence, but I would like you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh!
There is the jabbing pain of a needle in a neck as this figure of Taraji begins to melt and shift. You can see the crackle pop of bone and feel the sort of stitching amalgamation of flesh as the figure takes a half step behind you and wraps some bladed thing around your throat, a weapon of some kind. And you can sort of see the hand and feel it is not fur sort of pressing against you. It is sort of small white scales with sort of a very thin quality to them, but much more strong than what you would expect. You feel some sort of numbing paralytic poison course through your neck, but you're able in this instant of surprise to resist it. A male voice then begins to speak and sort of yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go for it. If I'm able to, I'm going to try to get off the ground, but I'll let you continue.
You hear a voice sort of pressing into your ear, and it says, I advise you, Keeper, to be more tactful in the questions you ask to known blabbermouths. Not all knowledge is for you to ascertain. Let the dead stay dead. If you value the lives of your companions, you should simply shut up.
Am I grappled right now?
Yes, you know that if you... It's not trying to make any attempts to attack you, but you know that it is poised to do so. You can escape quite freely, but that would be another attack of opportunity of this bladed thing against you, and potentially another dose of paralysis.
Would Reed and I be moving in his direction at this point?
You would.
Okay.
Go. Let me see. No, I'd say give me an investigation check, since this quote-unquote Siraji did pull him into a side alley.
Both of us or just one?
Not investigation, perception, I would say.
Perception.
16, 19, oh.
You quite readily see the white feathers out of the corner of your eye passing by one of the buildings. And you can see, with the 19, only you, Froshka, for the briefest instant of a second, a white-scaled, emaciated-looking, serpentine humanoid turns its head towards you. You can see piercing scarlet eyes, the flickering of a forked tongue, and in the blink of an eye, you can see it click once with its fingers, and if you have Arcana, go and give me a roll. But it simply winks away.
Yeah, I ain't got no fucking Arcana.
Nope. Wrong half of the party for this.
So seeing Fenton out of the corner of my eye, grabbing Reed and like pulling him to look down the corridor just as that thing disappears. Not really words, but Fochker charges down the alley.
I think as soon as I feel this, so this thing, the
You can feel the sort of poised Yuan-Ti ready to strike fade away, as if he wasn't there.
As
we just
soon as
hear.
I feel the grip lessen a little bit, I'm going to kick off my wings and fly up just to distance myself and look back behind me and confirm that it's gone.
Reaching where Fenton was and where that thing was, Fostra's just gonna swipe at the air.
There is nothing there.
Reed, did you see it?
Perhaps.
Where did it go?
I didn't get a look at it, did I, Fel?
Perhaps a glimpse. You definitely saw the color of the scales and sort of the half mixed form of a mid-transmutation shift between Taraji and a white-scaled cobra-like humanoid, yes. You did get to see that it was a Yuan-Ti.
Okay. I'll land again, draw my sword, and keep an eye open for sure.
I'll be ready for combat myself.
As Fenton and Foster like whirls around him, thinking it might be the creature again, or the person.
Fenton, what was that? What happened?
I'm not entirely sure. It was a Yuan-Ti. You saw it.
Why were you here with it?
Give me one moment, Voshka. Fenton takes a moment to catch his breath. He kind of feels at the little spot where he was pierced and shuts his eyes tight, but he'll open again. I saw from the balcony my love from back in Obidis, and I expected her to meet us in Estelheim, so I thought perhaps we had just happened to cross paths here, and I don't know, it happened quickly. She was not her. She was in disguise. The Yuan-Ti was in disguise as her. I don't know how it knew the things that it knew, though.
You must learn, understand. The world is not your ally.
But I need to have allies in the world, Reed.
You have only us.
No, she is still there. I have more. And how can I trust any? If that can be done so easily, and I would like to focus on both Reed and Fushka as well with detect magic, just to confirm they are themselves.
There doesn't seem to be anything unusual.
Yeah.
I understand I do need to be more careful, but that was... Well, my mind was elsewhere. That caught me completely off guard.
I'll bring your mind here. We must move.
Yes.
Now!
Yes.
He starts kind of pushing Fenton back out the alleyway while looking behind his shoulder.
There are no signs of this Yuan-Ti or any combat, just silence in this alleyway and the casual hustle-bustle of people going about their day in the Scala Mansions. Lorenz...
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, at that point, Foster's just gonna hurriedly usher both of them back towards the rest of the group as fast as possible.
Yeah, blindfold's going back on.
Lorenz, Chain, and Leora, you are in the room, yes?
Yes.
Lorenz, you're the one who hears a very nigh imperceptible, faint little scratch on the door of your room. Just 1-2 swipes and then it's done.
Oh, shit.
Well, Lorenz is gonna get up and open the door to see what it is.
There's nobody there, but scratched into the door, etched in a very, very faint trickle of blood, a symbol of a coiled serpent eating itself.
He's gonna close the door.
And the three of you that I presume are returning to the rooms see that too.
Is this sign familiar to you?
I would like to, if it's still up, detect magic on the symbol itself as well.
Written in blood.
There's no arcane significance to this symbol, but you're welcome to roll a history check if you would like.
It's
Leora.
20 profile picture.
12.
Leora, you do recognize this symbol slightly. You don't recall when, how, or why, but it's associated strongly with fear for you. Some time in your childhood it may have come up, but you're not entirely sure when or how.
So, okay, I would go over to the door and I would look at it and immediately look around and ask if anybody, does anybody recognize this? Did anybody see who did this?
Here
Chain doesn't recognize it.
we are.
We didn't see anything coming back to the room, did we?
Hunted.
Like anyone leaving the same hallway?
You don't seem to recall anything of the sort, no.
I'm guessing
Not
Chain
sure.
can recognize it at all.
It is not part of the Kenku affiliates. Reed, you're not quite sure what the symbol is. You do recognize it to be a serpent, and that might make you hungry a bit, but otherwise, no.
Well, snake meat's kind of not easy to come by.
Okay, so nobody saw who did this. Nobody knows what it means.
I believe we know who did it, Leora. There was a Yonti apprehended me below.
And that's what you flew after?
That's not what I flew after, no. I suppose it is in actuality, but I thought it was in disguise as someone I know. And it knows... Everyone knows something about what we know. Oh.
Chain's gonna try and punch Fenton.
I tried to not get punched.
Our daily
Give me an attack roll
PvP.
versus armor class. I'm assuming a 7 does not hit.
No.
You stupid bird!
What? I'm gonna distance myself from Chain for sure.
How many times are you gonna fall for some trick or betrayal from somebody you think you know? You're 2 for 2, buddy!
It was different, Chain.
Was it?
I hope so. I don't think we can stay. I think we ought to turn and run once again, but our enemies are not behind us. They are all around us.
Those dice we were given. What will you do?
Well, I haven't really given it much thought in the past 5 minutes, Reed. It's been a bit before whatever that was, I was hoping to go back to the temple and get some straight answers from Twist and, I don't know, but roll the 2, I suppose. Seems inconsequential, but...
Do you believe someone whose name is Twist will give you a straight answer?
No, perhaps not.
Reed will hold out his hand blindly in the vague direction towards Fenton. May I?
Roll them? What
will
for?
Roll them later. When
This
luck
is really
is
the time
needed.
for such a conversation, you two. If you want to talk about dice and rolling, talk about it later. Pack your things. Fenton is right. We cannot stay.
What do we do, though? When do we get an upper hand? Do we just move? The next city we get to, there'll be enemies waiting?
Yes, it seems so, Fenton. It
So
seems everyone knows that we are on our way to Esterheim.
Yet they see fit to attack us now. They don't want us there.
Was it a coincidence that we were invited to that party back in Kiris? Was it a coincidence that Fenton was just attacked here? Was all of this a coincidence? We do not know. We do not know what our enemies are planning because we do not know. The only thing we know is where we must go and why. And even that is only because you, Reed, have said we will get answers in Estelheim. And now we know that there is another tier there. But
Now
talking about
everyone
dice
knows
and
there's
fate.
another tier there.
We cannot continue on without some kind of upper hand. Some insight.
Until we can. Until we know for sure the ones we are talking to. Our upper hand shall be caution and strength.
I've been running my whole life. Sometimes you don't get an upper hand on anything. You just keep going.
What if we return on our way to the temple? Perhaps rather than entrance to the winery or whatever it was, perhaps there is another boon we can be given. We can use these dice, we can roll them, and we can try for something.
And what if we have enemies waiting for us at the temple? What if they are lining the streets, waiting for us to make another stupid mistake?
I don't see how that changes anything. I think that's inevitable wherever we go.
And so we will work blindly.
I do not wish to do this.
Then do not do it. If you do not want to do it, then do not do it, Fenton. It is that simple.
He's like stuffing shit into his bag.
In any case,
Go ahead.
I will not split off again. That was my own folly. I understand this. The 6 of us together are strong. I don't think we should run from the city like we did in Kyris. I do think we should go, perhaps today. It still might be safer.
We still need to gather supplies.
We need to gather supplies. Yes, as I mentioned, I'd like to petition for a boon from luck, something, and I'm in no place to ask of such, but I have evidently put the lives of 2 others in this city at risk beyond the 6 of us today, and I wouldn't mind a chance to correct those wrongs as well.
So we plan to go about the city. Do you plan on staying here in this inn with that on the door?
No, not the inn. But I think it's safe to assume that we are known wherever we are at.
Yeah, I can't stay here with that on the door. I don't know where we can go. I can't be here.
Are you familiar, Leora?
It does seem like the character you ran into is a Yanti, and unfortunately, that is the whole reason that I and my people are in hiding. They have been hunting us down and picking us off like flies.
That's horrible.
This is excellent. We have another clue as to our opponents.
Thankfully, I've never run into any of them up until this point. But unfortunately, that means that I don't know enough about them to figure out how they operate, other than they are as secretive as my people are, or whatever's left of my people at this point.
We have a sign on the door. We have a clue as to arcane inclinations.
There are perhaps at this time 2 in the building who might know more.
No.
Sieran, of course, who I would like to speak to anyways, perhaps. And the one you'll like even less, Jane, is the Baron. Has he not had a friend in the choir folk? For who knows how long?
I believe the Baron intends to kill us.
Possibly. But now we have information that he might find useful.
Wonderful. Let's go give it to him so that he has a reason to off us. Fenton? No!
There is another problem. If I recall correctly, the Baron isn't supposed to make an appearance until tonight or early tomorrow.
The morning.
We'll have to wait. And that's time I don't think we have anymore.
I think you're right, but if he happens to be here already, I don't know. It could be possible.
Fenton, I have one more question for you. Before
Yes.
Reed and I found you, that thing was already behind you. Had you in its grasp. If I am not mistaken, it would have been easy to kill you. Why did they wait?
I don't know if it wanted me dead. It seemed more that it wanted to ask questions of me and convey a message. It came for me because of what I asked Sieran to research. Apparently that is not news they want spreaded, and it put a target on my head, and I believe the thing simply wanted to ask what else I knew and confirm that I knew not to share anymore.
Then perhaps we should share.
Or maybe Sierran was playing you for a fool and he does know about it. And he's the one that told them.
I feel foolish for it, but I had not considered that. It seems unlikely, but I will not write it off as impossible.
So, with our happenings, you still believe we have business within the city?
I don't know.
A wave of change can roll over you. If you panic, you'll drown. But if you allow yourself to change, you'll find yourself someplace better. You cannot panic. Your world is changing. If you want to ensure a better one, you cannot simply wait for fate. You must take it, change it yourself. Do not roll the dice for the boons of another. Make your own. After all, I believe your prayers are more valuable than that priest's.
I don't see why they would be. I do not think it should be up to me to decide what we do in that case. I think you all should discuss it amongst yourselves. I suppose there is one and only one thing I would like to do before leaving the city, and that is return this damned recipe to Idolez. And other than that, it seems I can do no right.
The dice, then. Reed will hold out his hand.
I will give them over.
He'll kiss one of them and then put them in a pocket. Are they actual gold?
The metallic taste and the somewhat soft, brassy texture to them indicates, yes, they do some gold.
Ooh. This will be very useful.
We're already on the outskirts of town, right? Like this is.
I think
This
we're
is
still
like
in the inn
where-
room.
I think we're still in the
Still
room.
in the inn room,
Yeah.
yes.
Net's up here, right?
Yeah, we're by number 6. I believe
This
the...
is a road out of town, right? This is a road, not like a river.
Wouldn't that road be towards Trelawney and one of these be towards the Oak Kingdom?
Yes, the road to the right leads to Tlani. I can go back to the main map. So we're currently in Oscar, which is in the northeastern part of the Sullen Fieldlands. You have two options, generally called the high road and the low road. The one option is to go through a little mountain pass here towards Sarvia and upwards through the northern portions of the Ogre Kingdom. That would lead you to Sakarta, Mundera, and then to Estelheim on some mountain passes. The other option is to go to Vile through an underground mountain channel, then cross the river to Algiz, to Laguz, and then up to Estelheim. The road north through the Ochre Kingdom is unquestionably the safer option. Would take more time in terms of pure travel, and you would have to encounter some unpleasantness in the Ochre Kingdom for some of you. But the pass to through the Plani Basin is much more dangerous, much more volatile, but quicker, unrestricted. What are you thinking of doing in Ilisker? Are you headed to beyond that town and continuing on to the wilderness, or are you staying here to tie up some loose ends?
If you wish to do what you call right, would it simply not be better to burn this recipe?
Yes, I suppose that is a way to achieve the same end.
They do not always have to know what you did for them.
If there's a lit fireplace in here, I will do that. I will toss the.
We have a Foscra.
Well, then we do have a.
Eat the paper!
Fenton's not making eye contact with anyone at the moment. He will burn the recipe for Potion of Luck.
It's easy enough to do. It curls up into a crisp and deposits on the ground.
Such a powerful tool. Gone just like that.
Wonderful. Well, since this is our last stop, we have to make a decision. Talani or Ochre?
I believe the basin will be more difficult for our normal opponents to keep up with us. However, there will be new challenges.
If we return to Trelawney, then all I know is that there will be more need for fighting if my experience there is to be relied upon.
Would you rather physical fighting or political fighting?
If it is fighting that I cannot use my hands or teeth to resolve, then I shall leave it up to the rest of you. Until your methods no longer work.
The way I see it, it's a choice between safety and expediency.
Well, the way that I'm currently seeing it, as somebody who has no experience with either, I think if we go the Talani route, yes, physically more dangerous, but maybe, just maybe, a certain bird will be able to use his head more and think, my friends don't live in Talani. Faster route, don't have to deal with Fenton running off and getting betrayed or tricked for a third time. Reed knows the way. You're good at fighting. And together we can all take care of ourselves.
I think I have come to a terrifying realization.
You can get scared.
Well, actually, technically, I am immune to fear for the next, 20 hours.
Correct. Scary for
I think it's gonna take us more than 20 hours to get to Varel or Vale.
Rita has come to a normal realization.
No, it is still scary, just on a different level.
Well, you're going to share with the class.
We should move.
Yes, Reed, that is what we have been saying. The question is which direction?
He looks over to Lawrence and Lior. It's like,
You two have been quiet. What are your opinions on which direction we should go?
Well, if we go through Oakerwood, then, or the Ochre Kingdom, I imagine it is going to be a lot easier to follow us. However, if we go to the Talani Basin, then what happens if we have to fight our way through it and they catch us anyway and we are weaker than we were before?
It seems that neither way is perfect. But a decision must be made. I cannot which I will follow and protect Yuko, no matter which direction.
My vote is for Talani.
No, great. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that we need to get to our destination as soon as possible. My vote is for Talani.
Alright, well, let's hope some snakes are more afraid of Talani than we are.
I know of one. Let's go and create something living out of a dead land.
I fear we will be creating more death before we get out of there again. But if that is our decision, then there is no need to sit around and wait.
Yes. Let's go. I wish for the comfort of trees.
I wish for the comfort of a comfortable bed, and look what that got us.
You and me both.
Dane's going to steal one of the pillows from the beds.
quite a nice one.
Time to cast, was it Burning Ray and catch the place on fire?
Yeah, Dane's going to grab a pillow and put it in his bag before they leave, and then...
Taking the low road, the six of you hustle and bustle out of the Silk Song. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, when we reach the ground floor at the bottom, I'm going to stomp my foot on the floor and yell, "Servant!"
One tentatively approaches you with an inquisitive look in his eyes.
Hello. There is a snake eating itself on our doorway. It is written in blood.
What?
Goodbye.
It just says something like, "What are you talking about?" And just gawks as 6 of you leave.
I'll yell out behind me. Make sure your boss knows.
Right. And that's that.
I'm sure that'll have wonderful consequences down the road.
Consequences may be currently left in the dust as the 6 of you peel away from the Silk Song Inn.
Reed leaves Ilusker with the legend of the elixirs and being the weird knoll in the Silk Song Tavern.
I did not get to burn any place down. You ruined my prophecy.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure if I had stumbled into the brothel of slaking intellectual lusts, someplace would have been burned down. But unfortunately, we missed that stop. Because everyone's too busy having emotional breakdowns at what you're doing to us.
poor Fenton can't catch a break. It's like everywhere we go, he's having a problem.
I'm
This is why we
trying
need to go
to
to Talani.
explore Fell's world, but he's too busy chasing me out of it.
I suppose that is kind of the negative of having a character that knows everything, everywhere, and everyone. Is that now all of that can be molded against you.
And just for the sake of integrity, I did not lie once so far this session, so the potion's still working.
Yeah!
Foshka still sneeze lightning and will do so for a long time.
Makes it easy to track.
Yeah, stealthily as we're trying to make our way out of the city, just occasionally just.
And it cracks through. Alright, before we continue, I gotta use a quick restroom break.
Fair
Ditto.
enough. Alright, we'll take
Might
a
as well.
5-minute break then. See ya in a bit.
Okey-dokey.
Fenton.
Return.
Welcome back.
Back.
Oh my goodness, emotions. Imagine we could have been pub crawling all this time.
Yeah, if only it weren't for some snakes showing up and
I'm back.
ruining things.
Isn't that kind of what snakes have been doing for all of history, is just showing up and ruining things? I think Fell is secretly very racist against snakes.
Yeah, Fell hates snakes.
So
gonna
if-
end up as paranoid as Chain by the end of this campaign with how many fucking people he thinks he knows. Fucking
It's not good. It's not good.
What was that about understanding?
I wish I understood, I think, is...
Are we doing like a short break right now for everybody, or?
yeah, we're
Yeah,
taking 5.
Okay. Thought you guys just want to make sure you weren't waiting on me and Reed.
Yeah, we're just waiting on you and Reed.
Okay.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Did Reed take us into the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
So when we have our in-person meetup, we should totally take Fel to a reptile zoo to see
I
the
concur.
snakes.
Sounds delightful.
Snakes are so much fun.
Snakes are
I
great.
love snakes.
Maybe
Fun,
they will
goofy
have.
boys.
Maybe they'll have a water monitor there.
Throw it an egg.
Mm.
Egg.
I'll call this Golbo and then cry as it disappears.
Uh,
We should go to Florida, which is technically a reptile zoo.
yeah, you can see all the swamp puppies.
The swamp part of it.
Oshgrez changed to a Florida man. He's also one of the reptiles in the large reptile zoo of Florida.
We could take a trip down to Gatorland.
Ooh, I do love Gatorland.
You know, it sounds amazing, except for the fact that it's also Mosquito Land.
Have you heard of
Can't wait to get
Gatorland?
malaria.
Have you heard of Gatorland's answering machine?
No.
So it's since changed because it's become a larger attraction. But back when it was just like this one man's like alligator sanctuary that he made and turned it into Gatorland, he did the answering machine himself. And it was like, if you called him and got the answering machine, it would be like, "Thank you for calling Gatorland, America's #1 gator attraction. For English, press 1. For Espanol, press 2. And if you pressed 2 out of curiosity or because you wanted him to speak Spanish, the response you would get is, "Well, I don't speak Spanish, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy my park."
Amazing.
I keep trying to use WASD to scroll the map.
You've been playing too much Baldur's Gate 3.
That and Tabletop Sim.
Yes. Roll
Which-
20's wealthier, more pretty cousin.
Yeah, which that's what my other campaign is ran on. And our DM found a way to import digital models from Hero Forge, so you can use your custom token on the map, or your
Oh,
custom
that's
mini on the
rad.
map. Yeah,
Fancy.
and those digital files are only $8.
Ugh, money. Yeah.
Money.
All
Fenton
right.
decides to stop making decisions for 45 seconds, and we're going to Talani. I am.
It'll be great! Quick adventure, 20 minutes, in and out.
Look, I was totally hoping for us to be stopped at the border to the Ochre Kingdom, and dealing with the racist border guard, and then potentially Foshka biting their head off.
That would have been bad too, I
It's
guess.
almost. Well,
I mean, we're still
Look.
gonna have to do stuff in the Ochre Kingdom.
oh,
I
absolutely. What do you think? Who do you think I am? But
filthy dragon.
Like,
I am only so happy because at least in Talani, our enemies, like what we're supposed to do and survive, is a little bit more obvious. There's going to be less backstabbing and more front stabbing.
speaking of, Ilisker fades away into the distance as you rapidly approach the nearby mountain range of peaks wrapped in sort of a crescent around the sullen fieldlands. The road you're traveling is well traveled. There are many deep grooves in the ground. Many footsteps on this dirt-paved road. And soon you find yourselves at the entrance of a wide, sort of gnawing cave. That Terran miners here have tunneled out passage through the mountain range towards the opposite side of the Ashen Peaks at some point, leading to the city of Vial. Those of you who have, I'd say, history, can go ahead and give me a roll to deduce what you know about the towns on your way to Estelheim.
Nat
Fenton, nice
20.
job.
Everything.
Have your studies quite well read, at least on this portion of Tlani. You know that Vial used to be the center of resistance for Tirisaz on the western front of the Tlani Basin, but it has since been taken over entirely by Anubians. Somewhat of a show of force, the Anubians basically took what used to be a gem mining town and converted it forcefully into something that supplied a war effort against undead. You know, that Algiz used to be the rumored to be the first home of the very first lizard folk. It is the home of the Terrans, and when the Deific Wars began, the Terrans essentially buried downwards instead of fleeing in an attempt to escape the conflict, and as a consequence, they unearth some strange creatures, aberrations of underground variety. And Algiz has now been coined somewhat of a witch town, which is where arcane and occult practitioners flock to. As a consequence, the Hell Knights are in an open conflict between Algiz and, I guess, themselves. And the city of Lagos is the current, not quite resting place, but place of occupation where Justiciar Marin, one of the 6 of the Risen Pantheon, lords upon his throne, and it is the location where paladins of any sort go to have their oaths be sworn by Marin himself. It is not a part of the Tlani war effort, but the curse has spread there, even though it's not the best place for undead, a city of paladins. That's what you have in stock. But first you must make it there.
Oh, great.
Hmm.
Wow.
Every time.
Just gotta make sure.
But first, I'm going to run away because I did not expect you guys to go to Talani.
Let
Hmm.
me see.
I do always feel bad leaving a place because I'm like, I'm sure there's just so much that we miss.
Just so much.
I know.
Where's the lore?
If we weren't main characters,
The question is if we went to the place in Alaska that Fel really wanted us to go to, but never revealed.
I don't think we did.
it was either the temple / betting house or the brothel of slating intellectual lusts. One of those two.
I will say, if I had chosen to make the paladin instead of Foshkra, we definitely would have been spending a lot more time inside that temple.
Who knows what the future will hold?
We may have to circle back to Alusker at some point and pick up all that tasty lore.
Yeah, when do we get the free play mode of this game?
When we unlock the airship in Chapter 3.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Build it overnight.
Open world.
That was an interesting campaign. I have more tales about that, but in either case,
Into
the
the
slope
dark.
is gradual and downward, points spiraling so that any carts are able to not slide on the slick ground beneath. It turns into stone that has been since caked by dust and dirt. There's no signs of light. How are you currently illuminating the path?
Imagine not having dark vision.
I was gonna say, have the dark vision people lead. Oh, so I think Foshker's still glowing at this point.
He is. It's a steady blue glow.
Oh, well,
Is
that,
the group flashlight?
I can't wait for him to
that
sneeze into the
lasts.
side and have the entire tunnel come crumbling down on top of us.
Just the echo from the thunder.
I will follow behind Foshgra in that case.
But it's easy enough to, through either natural means of dark vision, a lamp or a spell of some variety to guide yourself through this this quite large tunnel. It's very much an object of construction. There are side tunnels that snake off from the main path, but akin to side paths in a forest, it might not be the best idea to pursue them. What's the current order? Voshka first.
How wide is the path through the tunnel? Is it like single file or?
Wide enough for a cart, at least.
Yeah, if it's big enough for a cart, it's gotta
Wide
be.
enough for a cart, yes. I'd
Yeah.
say about the width of maybe 3 cart lengths, enough for 2 of them to pass side by side. But
Okay, so it's like plenty big. This is a road, it's not a path.
this is an underground road, yes. It's not a small little tunnel path.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say unless Chain wants to go first, front, first go or lead.
Chain will probably walk next to Foshgra.
I'll be
Alright.
right behind them.
We need somebody with dark vision in the rear.
I guess that'll be Lorenz.
I will be
Technically-
by Lorenz in the rear then.
Ugh.
We
The
don't have
first
dark vision.
portions of this mountain path are rather dull and somewhat bland, but as you go deeper and further into this cavern, you begin to see some of the more natural forms of geography in this underground channel. You eventually come past a chasm to your left that sort of spawns a massive ravine down which a waterfall falls. At some point, you cross a mushroom garden with sort of iridescent, illuminating purple and blue stalks that provide some modicum of light and a semblance of a forest and otherwise
Oh.
bleak surroundings. I would like one of you to roll a 1d20, please.
Just one?
Correct.
How do we decide who does it?
I vote for Star
Nope,
Child.
Chain did it.
Oh, Chain got it. Up on the initiative.
Did I do good?
I mean, it's 17.
17 equals dragon fight.
Oh no.
We're fighting Thembershad.
The sound of hoarse, raggedy breathing becomes apparent as the view comes along. It's no surprise, but the light of your torches and your Foshkra eventually reveals the sort of spattering of some blood on the ground that leads up to a figure that has been, for lack of a better term, nailed into the stonework of the wall to your left. You can see that the brittle brown stone has been shattered and fractured, but driven through this Vulcanal's sort of hands and shoulders and some of its joints. You can see the still breathing, still living, aged male sort of slumped against the wall, wearing tattered clothing, sort of ratchety leathers that barely stick to his scrawny form. His fur probably used to be white at some point, but dirt and grime has coated it all, splotched shades of gray and brown. Still alive.
My attention is on the immediate surroundings and what could have done this.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Reed, you notice that the blood here is not fully dry. Definitely recent, a matter of hours likely, but there's a lot of it, so some of it is still sort of sickly wet. There don't seem to be any additional things surrounding you, but only the presence of this crucified Vulcan.
I fear whatever has done this may be nearby.
Does
This
the blood
is
stop at the Vulcanal? Or
The
is
blood was
there like
leaking
some
from it,
more?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see him slowly pick his head up as you approach, and he says, "Would you be kind to spare me any water?"
That seems like a trap.
Fosher's gonna get close to the guy and just kind of.
Hold on. Is there blood on this figure? Or just around?
No, the blood is leaking from
Right,
wounds
got it.
sustained, yes. Roll me a survival check.
Okay, I'm good at that. 12.
There are additional splotches of blood a little further off the cave that likely don't source entirely from this volcanal,
Hmm.
but insignificant compared to the amount this one has shed. Paladins of the sacrosanct gods to me. If you wish to be merciful, then let me die in peace, but if you can comfort me or release me, then I will be thankful.
I do want Lorenz to slowly approach and taking his water flask from his belt.
He's constrained by the nails in his shoulder. Difficult for him to raise his head and lap some water up, but you can see him brighten ever so slightly. I am Sadek of Algiz. If you, which way are you headed through this channel?
I'm Lorenz. I'm not really sure where we're heading through here. Someone must have better direction than I do.
To Vale or to Iliskar?
Beth,
And you made it where I was trying to flee from. But they caught up to me.
why did they do this to you?
I'm ambivalent as to what they did to me, but... Well... I was a negotiator for the Hell Knights at one point. Before Algiz fell to the witches and thieves within. My daughter used to live there. You can see him try to shrug. Well, paladins don't like meddling in their affairs. They strung her up. I tried to save her and I failed, but that was not enough for them. He does not seem to have any weapons now, Fashka.
And no like empty sheaths were to tell that he was carrying one at one point.
No.
Okay.
Not all fanatics are of the sacrosancts, but all of the sacrosancts are fanatics. Don't cast spells in their presence, I would not advise it. No matter how just the cause may seem. Would you be able to get me down?
I can try. Can I have some help?
You can.
I'll turn to Froshgra.
I'll ready to cast Healing Word whenever they let this man down.
If we will move on faster.
He just kind of like walks up and braces one arm on the dude's collar and like, grips onto one of the iron nails in his shoulder. And looks to
me.
Lawrence.
You want him down.
Yes, that's what the man wants.
Checks with the rest of the group by looking over his shoulder.
It appears I might actually be able to distribute the food I wanted.
Are the other three just being silent?
Are the paladins still nearby?
They went back to Vale, last I could tell.
Will they not try to confirm your death as they orchestrated it?
Two witches and shamans in the woods. They care more for their suffering, not death. Why would one wish to help one like me, is their logic. But they operate off their own senses, which are not necessarily shared by most. I tried to escape. Well, you can see what they did. They called me a torturer of the fabric of the world, a murderer in the past, a soon-to-be murderer, or a murderer in the future. Either way, they felt suited to condemn me.
I'll just nod at Foshgra.
Leora, Chain.
Things say stay silent.
Are you positioned to yank him off the wall, or are you positioned to
I've got one arm
remove
on
the
his
nail?
collar. I've got one hand on his collar and another hand grabbing one of the nails.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
There's some common sense here.
My
And
intelligence is 9. I'm not a complete idiot.
Lorenz does want to help out by grabbing the other side or other nail.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. Both of you.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
He's been working out.
Those are saves, but regardless,
With
Oh.
the sort of
Oh.
same.
same
Unless
thing
you're
for Lorenz,
proficient.
but for Foshgra, it's a little lower, but that's still fine. Pulling on the sort of rusty metal nails, embedding this Vulpanol into the stone wall, you can see the sort of blunted nature of their heads, and the angles with which they tilt indicate some large hammer was used to drive them in. With some effort and the sound of stone cracking and dried blood tearing and sort of a yell of pain from the little tunnel. It's easy enough to pull him free, and you can see him fall to his knees on the ground, sort of new blood dripping from the wounds, but they're not the most deadly. Reader, healing wording him.
Actually, instead of healing word, I'm going to use Goodberry.
Okay. I will say, as the guy like comes off the wall with the hand that was like pressed onto, bracing on his collar, Foshker just like catches him to make sure he doesn't face plant into the dirt.
Thank you, my friend. You can see him takes a good bear in his palm and kind of gnaws on it. Swallows a little thickly.
They will help.
They do. I know what they are. Let's him give a faint smile. I can see him give somewhat of a sigh, roll his shoulders. All of you travelers and your paladins and your birds and your swords, did you ever stop to think if they were right? You can see him place his hands together, begin rubbing, and from the puncture holes in his shoulders and palms, blood like geysers begin to flow and begin to wrap around him like some miasmic entropic shield, coating him in this spiked, thorny armor.
I fucking knew it.
And to magic nails. What a wonderful thing. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
I fucking knew it.
But why, bro?
Hold on, let's wait for our character tokens. We gotta select them before we can roll.
It's all my fault. At least it's not
This one will be Theater of Mind.
Then we shall have to place ourselves upon the world.
Rage giant.
It's growing.
Wow. The
Wow.
kaijus are here.
This is my
There's-
favorite Arctic
This
campaign.
one character in my Curse of Strahd campaign, for some reason, has the most massive token,
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
twice the size of anybody else,
times.
and there's no way why.
Fenton with a net 20.
All right.
Is my character on the board? It never wants to show for me if it is.
No.
Depends on where it is. I do not see it.
Amazing. Wonderful.
It does not exist.
You have not successfully dragged it out onto the board yet.
Their chain has gone home.
Roll 20 is my mortal enemy.
Foshker was in the middle of holding off a sneeze.
Let me know if you
There
can
you go.
control that token.
Lorenz tries to do something nice one time.
Welcome to Tlani.
This is what Foshker gets for trusting somebody, or trying to give some trust to somebody.
Fucking hate Talani.
We've been here 30 seconds.
And I
We're
already
not even
hate
there.
Yeah, we're not even there yet. We're in between. We're in the
here,
limbo.
This is like seeing a desert and saying, I hate Vegas.
But I do hate Vegas.
I have to
I mean, I
reload
do
roll
hate
20.
Vegas.
It's not letting me click on anything now, so I can't even roll initiative.
no.
Oh no.
Be
No.
right back.
Hold on, let me DDoS roll 20 real quick.
Don't
Not
No,
again.
No.
Not again.
I don't know why roll 20 hates me so much.
It loves no one. It's all right.
It loves me.
No,
think
it
it-
doesn't.
I think it
Don't
hates
fool
us in
yourself.
particular.
I know. We've had a healthy relationship going for about a decade now.
Healthy.
I mean, well,
Oh, I see Nyx rolled an initiative 9.
Oh, I see your character token.
Yeah, it's not letting me select the character tokens. So
you have to drag it out yourself.
what do you mean?
The game master can't drag it out for you. You have to drag it out yourself because the game master hasn't set up default tokens for the players yet.
No, that's fine. My token is on the map. I just can't select it before I roll initiative. Like it's not letting me.
Try dragging it out. Let me actually edit and see if you have access to it. Can be yes, it can be edited and controlled by you ostensibly. Huh. Okay.
So it's all Fel's fault.
You take 1d12 damage. Leora, let me see. Can you select this token now? Let me try to specifically give access to this token on the board.
I cannot. At the moment, anyway.
Try now.
Yes, I can.
There we go.
Yeah. Amazing. Do you want me to re-roll or?
You can use the one you've already rolled. So that to be 9. I will add you to it.
Thanks.
All right. Let me see. Come on, YouTube.
King is feeling so vindicated that his paranoid view of the world is coming so very true.
Fel wants us to never trust anyone ever.
You just have to live life like Chain.
I don't wanna. I like my wings.
Your wings just got you pricked by a fucking Yuan Ti.
And it was stylish.
Was it?
No.
Hey, you know, Fenton, 2 bites down, 1 to go.
The Vulpinol, you can see the blood streaming from his palms, surges out into the formation of a hilt, and a large bladed scythe begins to curve and emerge and crystallize into sharpened clots on the bladed edge of it. But Fenton, you are up first.
Okay. This morning's lesson is still very fresh on his mind. Fenton had been watching this whole exchange very warily, humming under his breath in a way that to an outsider's kind of a nervous tick. But as this creature begins to use magic in this way, Fenton's hums kind of multiply. It sounds like he's humming 1 part, then 2 parts, and 3 and 4, and they're very discordant with each other. It's unsettling to hear, and I will cast Distant Whispers at 2nd level on this Vulpinol.
Awesome.
Dissonant.
Let me see. Dissonant Whispers.
It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw. It will succeed on that. So be 17.
Okay, that is fine.
He still suffers damage, yes?
He does. Half damage of 46.
46.
Oh, you
46. not
upcast
46.
this.
Okay.
46.
I know. All right. Ouch.
17.
The muttering of sharp arcane words causes this aged Vulpinol to twist back and snarl, and a little bit of here you can see the neck twists far more than what you'd expect a normal one to, but it snaps its neck back towards you. It's 8 points of psychic damage.
And I will, returning that melody to a more peaceful sound and one voice, encourage Gosh, should I? Lorenz gets the bardic point of bardic inspiration,
Aw.
and that's the turn.
An admission of true love.
Just to clarify, Lawrence and myself are right next to this thing, right? And Reed is right in
Yes.
front of it.
Yes. I'd say the rest of you are about 10, 20 feet away.
Okay.
So let me know where you are, and then we'll go from there. Shane, you're up.
All right. Well, since he's already away from it, and there's not really, I'm assuming there's not really a place to hide in just a cavern. He'll just go ahead and there is somebody like right next to it, right? Like he'll get sneak attack if he does hit.
Correct, that would be Fosh and Lorenz.
Perfect. Yeah, then he's just going to double tap and use 2 psionic blades. One is his action and one is his bonus.
16 will hit.
Wonderful. 18.
Ouch.
And we're assuming the 19 will
also
hit. And then another 7.
Damage.
Rogues.
Nice.
We love to see it.
2 psychic blades embed into this thing's side. You can see it briefly double over before sort of matting a hand on its own blood and smile. As you can see its gritting face. You can see blood begin to leak down the sides of it, sort of filtering through its sharp white teeth. Some sieve.
Fucking teeth havers.
I think this thing's more broken than Reed.
And that's all Chain will do on his turn. Maybe take like a couple steps back to be like an extra 5 feet back.
Awesome. Let me see. So taking a half step back, you can see this thing begin whirl the scythe into the air, muttering something in some discordant language. There's the sharp, sharp, sharp tinge of iron into the air as it begins sort of exuding its blood dried on the ground, sublimating into the air, forming some noxious blood tainting rain that pitter-patters on the ground below. Within a 10-foot radius around this creature is technically surfaces of blood. And you can see Psylocke point towards you, Foshka, and mutter and utter a curse, saying something like, "Deep in Tlanny, where the blood runs foul, command your soul to curdle." And you feel some deep imprint immediately lodged against your soul. That is its turn. Those of you who start your turn within 10 feet of this creature must roll a dexterity saving throw to avoid falling prone on the slick surface. Reed, you're up.
I will roll a dexterity saving throw.
You will.
14.
14 will succeed.
Excellent. I am going to calmly say, "Are we truly the enemy of your hemalurgy?" And cast Hold Person. So
Interesting,
give me
okay.
a wisdom saving throw.
I will take a wisdom saving throw. That will be let me see. A 12.
That will fail. It is paralyzed until it repeats the save at the end of its next turn.
You can see this creature freeze up, an unnervingly wide smile on its face that doesn't quite reach its eyes.
I'll walk up to it, kind of glance at its wounds and the blood seeping out of it, say, "Remember traveling through this garden before?" That'll be my turn.
Lorenz, you're up.
Okay,
I'd like you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
sure thing.
You're able to maintain your footing.
Okay. Lorenz is he's gonna use some of his sorcery points. Three sorcery points to heighten his next spell.
Oh,
Nice.
Feel sort of shift in the air. And he will cast Moonbeam.
Ooh.
Nice.
beam!
Beam of the moon.
So that it will be a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Alright. That will be... 6.
That fails.
That will fail.
That is 2d10 radiant damage.
Go ahead and roll. A beam of moonlight arcs down and illuminates the sort of ghastly sight of this blood-covered, aged, wizened witch of some sort.
I think
Can
Moonbeam
see
also gets rid of
shape-shifting.
yes.
This one isn't a shapeshifter.
Damn.
Alright, 14 points. Nice. Are you moving anywhere?
No.
No.
That'll be the end of turn.
Leora, you're up.
I think. Sorry, I'm reading.
Spellcasters.
Okay. So lightning lure would only hit the one guy. It won't hit like the party.
It
Okay.
will not.
Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit him with lightning lure. Let's see.
He is currently paralyzed, means he automatically fails the
Incredible. So strength saving throw or be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line towards you and then take 1d8 lightning damage.
Absolutely. Unable to resist the effects of this electrical lure that's quite literally reeling him in. There's a
Achoo.
jolt of electricity that surges through his paralyzed frame. Go ahead and roll damage.
Or we
Is
go
he-
kind of get barreled out of the way.
So that
He
is
doesn't
one-
move in on his own. Lighting lure drags people in.
So 1d8 is 6.
Alrighty. A surge of electricity courses through his paralyzed muscles. Was it your
So,
turn?
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. So, if he's pulled out of our threat radius, that doesn't count for an attack of opportunity.
If it's
Only if it is
forced,
intentional movement. Yeah. If
Yes.
it's forced movement like a shove, it count for attacks opportunity.
technically,
okay.
Dissonant Whispers could have, but this
Dissonant Whispers
didn't.
would have been awesome, yeah. However,
Okay, so that takes one of my potential strategies out of my head that I was thinking of.
Dissonant Whispers and attacks of opportunity, the Sentinel work fine. It is your turn, too.
All right. All right. So dexterity save. Does this count for threat detection?
In terms
Spell-
of.
As advantage on the dex save.
Oh, what counts as what?
The blood surface that you said.
Oh,
I have to
his
take a dex save.
he's talking about his barbarian feature.
Yes.
Okay, yes, then yes.
Okay. I need all the help I can get. All right, 17. So, still on my feet?
Correct.
Okay. So with that in mind,
This is what I get for trying to be nice.
and goes into a rage. Flames igniting on his claws as he closes back in with this guy and takes his swipes at him.
He is paralyzed, so if you hit, that is an automatic critical hit.
Is it also at advantage because he's paralyzed?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So
That is a
21.
hit.
All right. So just roll the damage twice.
No, roll the die twice, but the add-on is only once.
Okay, yeah. So the rage
Yes.
damage we only count once.
Yes.
All right. So
14 total.
on the first strike, and second one.
18
18.
will hit.
All right. That's another 15.
15, awesome. 29 points of damage to large wounds carved into the flesh of this unarmored creature.
And just gonna since he was pulled, also just kind of position myself so I'm between him and Leora and Fenton and Chain.
Sure.
And that'll be my turn.
Fenton, you're up.
Am I outside the range of this effect?
If you're beyond 10 feet of him, yes.
I think that's reasonable to say I am.
Alright. Go for it.
Oh, did that blood puddle follow him when he was moved?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he's closer. I'm probably within it then.
Then go ahead and roll that saving throw.
Which was it?
Dexterity.
Oh,
Fenton, you slip upon the slick ground and fall into a puddle of blood. You're currently prone, but you can get up and move around as you wish.
Okay, yeah. The blood puddle being pulled towards me with this creature, I fall to the ground, but I will stand up again immediately with a scowl, and Fenton will say, "You worthless arcane amateur, playing games at the gates of a land whose rats and roaches hold more power than you." And I will
ooh.
Nice vicious mockery.
mock viciously.
Let me see. Wisdom saving throw. That is going to be a failure.
Great. So he will take 3 psychic damage, and should he
Nice.
make an attack roll on the next turn, it will be at disadvantage.
Sure thing.
I think he'll be rather preoccupied.
I hope so.
You're on initiative for some reason twice, but I think that's just the token stuff.
Yep.
Alright. Is that your turn?
No, I will, now that Leora is here so close to this guy as well, I will give her the next point of Bardic Inspiration. Finally pulling out my actual loot and beginning to play.
Fair enough. I'm going to roll another saving throw to resist the hold person. That is going to be success at 19.
Yep.
Didn't Chain move before the guy last time?
I was gonna say, I thought
Oh,
you
I had
had-
him exact. Pardon me. I had it exactly at 20. Yeah, you go first. You just have a higher initiative.
Yes.
So he is still paralyzed.
Hooray
Melee
for
crit,
hopefully
melee
auto
crit.
crit.
Melee attacks do automatically crit.
Oh, but that requires going into the dex save zone. Screw it, worth it. I'm good with dex saves.
Wasn't that only on the start of your turn, if you were in it?
Or if you enter it on your turn.
Okay.
First
fair.
time
Yeah.
on your turn.
So yeah, I'll go for the. Yeet.
Ah,
Did you
fucking
rather
rogues.
easily manage to stay on your feet? Yeah.
All right, and then since he's paralyzed, does that advantage to us or just auto crit?
You do have advantage. If you hit, it is automatically.
Wonderful.
That is
Yep.
it. Then thus a crit.
And sneak attack is doubled on a crit too, right?
It is indeed.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's
Just a handful of d6s.
yes, that's see that's 66 plus 5. Okay.
Alrighty. Nice.
25 on the first. And then we'll do the bonus action as well.
Freaking assassin we got here.
And that does not get sneak attacks, that'll just be 2d6.
Imagine
2d6.
chain.
Nice.
Oh,
Plus 5, so 9.
It's 5, 9 total. Awesome. Yeah, 2 powerful swipes in this relatively incapacitated multiple. Congratulations.
And then he will back out of the range of the blood.
Fair enough.
Hit and run tactics.
Sort of covered in a faint misting of blood. Then you can see the roll of his shoulders that indicate a freedom from paralysis and flexing of muscles. Very much injured, torn up, but that is simply more blood to hemalurger. Read, you're up.
Good thing my attacks don't make him bleed.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Yep, it got pulled right through my space, so nat 20.
Oh.
Very much able to maintain your footing.
My finger follows him as he passes through, and instead of channeling positive energy, I'm going to channel negative energy and foul his blood with an attempt at inflict wounds. Be another
He's
spell
going
slot
to
down.
mutter something and slice his palm on his little scythe, and you feel blood welling up in your eyes. He's going to blood curse of the eyeless against you.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
So is that
Not
disadvantage or
disadvantage. He subtracts
blinded?
a certain number from your. Let me actually. I believe your roll is normal, but I subtract a die from it. Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead, roll as normal.
All right. 20?
That doesn't help me at all. But you are able to pain blood, sort of clotting your cataracts, and you're able to succeed on the inflict wounds. Yes, go ahead, no damage.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this being blind thing. So 19 points of necrotic damage.
You can hear a shout as old Vulpinol. Some of the blood immediately turns black, necrotic. Still up, still fighting. Very much weakened, but
Talani should remain within Talani. Only I leave.
is that your turn?
Yes.
Roll me a saving throw, friends.
Of course.
Oh,
Lorenz, you fall prone.
And is that an action to get back up?
It's half your movement to stand.
Ah, okay. Well, he's gonna get back up, absolutely covered in the stuff.
As you're fighting to scrabble your way up, he is going to use his overwhelming feature and sort of sensing the opportunity of your somewhat exposed form on the ground, going to slash down at you with this. That is going to be a 10 to hit.
That does not hit.
It misses. This scythe of blood carves into the ground, and instead of like a hard weapon would rebuff off the ground, the amorphous nature of the blade simply melds with the blood pool on the ground, and when he raises it again, it reforms.
Ooh.
Continue your turn.
Okay.
Was that an attack action?
It was not quite a reaction, but it would be considered a reaction.
Well, I'm at. Okay, so it wasn't an attack action.
No,
that
it wasn't an
provoked
attack
Sentinel.
action. Nope.
Okay.
not.
Damn.
Okay. Lorenz is properly freaked out. He, as he does with all his problems, is going to cast Guiding Bolt on it.
Fair enough. You're in melee, which means you would have disadvantage. But he already used his attack of opportunity. Well, he has already used his reaction, so you could leave, take a few steps back and cast as normal.
Okay, so that is what Lorenz will do. Take a few steps back. And
Go ahead.
let me see. There we go.
Oh,
No!
the somewhat disturbing nature of this blood mage before you gives your hand some shaking, and the guiding bolt scatters across the sky of this night cave. Is that your turn?
Shit. Yeah, I think that's all, folks.
Leora, I'd
That's
like you
all,
to roll another
folks.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh my goodness.
You're very much able to maintain your footing.
Incredible. I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Go for it. That is going to be 3 darts, sort of battering this thing's form. All 3 deal 2 total. Nice. You can see spurts of blood begin to flow at an uncontrolled pace from this thing's form where they hit.
And after that, I would like to step back and out of the circle.
Yeah. Out of the Nickelodeon circle.
Yes.
Nickelodeon.
Foscra, you're up.
Alright. Dex save.
Another what?
Hey, I told
Wow.
you, we are being blessed right now. I have Tifa on my lap.
3, nice.
What? My cat. Are you confused? Anyway, I'm going to slash at this dude. Reckless.
Go for it. 24 does hit.
Alright. For 7 points of damage. With that, I'm also
How
gonna
would you
make.
like to do it?
Oh, yes. So, sliding up onto him after Lauren's attacks goes wide and Leora hits him with the magic missiles. Fushra's just going to bring his inflamed hand up and with a snarl just grab this dude by the head, twist, and slam him down into the dirt, or straight into the rock, and just like keep pushing into him, claws squeezing around his head, and bringing up the other hand and grabbing the other side of his head as I bear down on him, and just like looking at the others.
This is why you do not trust in Talani.
And then I'm going to take my mouth and put it over his muzzle and bite it off.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Wonderful.
Jeez.
Wonderful.
It's easy enough to do. There's the spattering of blood, and appears to be some sort of choked laugh as this blood mage chokes on his own blood. Fitting end, but he eventually lies still.
Just spit his muzzle out onto the ground. And
It's been so long.
just wipe my mouth and look at the rest.
Lesson learned.
Lorenz is absolutely covered in blood and is nearly completely catatonic, just staring at the dead body of the aged Volpanol on the ground.
Welcome to Tlani.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Kane is surprisingly unfazed.
And
I guess unsurprisingly.
unless you have further you'd like to discuss regarding the roleplay, we're going to end for tonight.
Not until we get our next spot of quiet.
There is one thing I would like to do.
Take a
Which
piece.
is-
No. No, but this is life, and life should not be wasted.
No, he's sowing the spores.
I am going to use my Halo of Spores feature and then Druidcraft to kind of speed up the process and allow a little bit more life to take over.
You can see the blood begin to contract, congeal into a more tight mess than just blood spattered on the ground. The natural effects of time accelerate on this thing's body, and you can hear the buzzing of flies and see some of the blood turn black.
Shane's gonna take one of the nails that was pulled out of him.
Anti-magic nail.
That is a good idea. These may come in handy. Someone else take them.
Kane will just take all of them. Screw it.
How many of them were there? 4?
There were 4.
Wonderful. More money for me.
Money? You mean you're not going to use them? Imagine what, like, flicking one or crossbow shooting one into someone might do.
I was gonna say,
Actually,
out of
hold on a
character.
second. You have...
Out of character, Reed, you did say that the jackal had some sort of magical protections.
Oh yeah, plenty.
Imagine driving an anti-magic nail into those protections.
See, I didn't even recognize that they were anti-magic nails. I was just...
That's what
just money.
that's what the guy said.
Yeah, that is what they said.
Anyways, don't you have telekinesis?
Yes, Lorenz does have telekinesis.
What about you, Shane?
I cannot move things with my mind, no.
Oh,
I can speak into minds.
Lorenz can do that now too.
well, look at you two.
We got the walkie-talkies.
Who needs a sending pearl?
All right. Thank you for the game. It's always a pleasure.
Yes.
I mean,
So-
we're not gonna extend it into a 4-hour one again?
What?
If he wants to give us a campsite, then yeah.
Sobbing.
Okay, I'm stopping the recording.
Yes.
I would be thrilled
Yeah,
to
I would
get a
yes.
chance.
Yes. Start the recording.
All
so
right,
that,
we're recording again.
Okay.
Yes.
For
If,
posterity's sake.
if you have questions about the lore or the world, ping me. I will answer instantaneously. But in either case, have fun, take care, and see you next time.
Have a good
Later.
night.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
Phil.
Good
Phil.
night. He is so
Now
angry
we're
we
left
didn't
to
choose
our-
dragons.
Oh boy. We're
Is
on
he
our
is he
own.
letting us do this without him?
Yes. Yes,
I
he
mean,
We're
is.
unsupervised.
Gotta get this recording to him instantaneously.
I attune
Yes.
to the shard.
All right, so I found. So we've all found legendary items inside this little alcove.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we also
no.
found the materials for an airship.
Wait, no, an Earth ship.
An Earth ship.
We made a drill, a giant drill,
It's just a.
like our
It's just a.
own path.
We are the
It's a-
Undertakers.
It's a. It's a cart with 4 Terrans strapped to the front of it.
Sorry, Foul. I built a giant land-eating mech.
Secret
I
tunnel.
actually ascended to
Secret
godhood
tunnel.
and overthrew Beldain.
What's this? Thurisaz is on fire?
Fenton ate the sun again.
Oh no.
Aw.
Fenton?
Yep, it was Fenton. Fenton ate the sun.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Alright.
Plot twist, Vincent is a god.
Soon.
Okay. Is recording happening?
Yes.
Good.
I have some things in mind, but I've talked a lot, or this session, so I'll let anybody else go first.
Reed is going to get his cooking supplies out. It's terrible. Oh, it's terrible.
What are you being dramatic about now?
The food may go to waste.
Just
What
cook it
food?
for ourselves.
You would eat something that I cook. Am I
Haven't I
not
already eaten something you
unclean?
cooked?
Very well, but it is a very large bison that you have slain.
I'm sure Foshker is a hungry boy.
I'm not going to ask Foshka to be a grill as much as I want to.
Did Reed just ask Fosher to be a grill?
No, I said I am not going to as much as I want to.
He will help start the fighter, though, as always.
With what? Sneeze?
No, with bonfire. He can do that.
Wonderful. Lorenz will be in, I think, I don't remember precisely Fel's description, but in that little corner where the water is flowing to start gradually washing himself of blood, and he's taking off his top portion of clothing, which is drenched in nothing but blood.
Yeah. I'll say after lighting the fire, that's what Foshker is doing too, washing the blood off his hands and off his face.
Foshka, do you think that if I were to grow things out of that body, they would look like the forest in Thurisaz?
I would hope not, Reed.
The colors.
If anything were to grow from that body and resemble the forest from the Blood River in Terizas, it would be that plant that tried to eat you.
I could have made friends with it.
You tried to make friends with it, Reed, and it still tried to eat you.
I could try again.
And I imagine I would have to rip it out from the ground and toss it away again. The ghost lake that should have been burned.
You two have been to Thesis.
I have been in Therisas for the last few years. Yes.
Half of me was born there.
What does that mean, half of you?
Oh, this half, I'll pull down just the bandages around my neck to show all the plant material that's been slowly growing out of the wound.
That is...
I dislike it as much as Foshkra does.
I've been meaning to ask Reed. Were you always like that, even when we first met?
You don't remember. No, I was normal once.
Don't think you're ever normal, Reed. Not as nose are concerned.
That is true. I was a bit of a rebel. But I. My rebellion caught up to me and tore my throat out.
Literally.
Yes. Thankfully, the waters there are merciful. There's still a little bit of green in Talani, even in the heart of its desecration.
I thought the waters of Therisas were nothing but death. The rumors were if you were to even take a swim, it would claim your life.
Because life is hungry. Life eats life. And I wonder now if my new way of fixing Talani, healing it, is to eat the death. Perhaps restore a bit of a balance.
Balance.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But that is very far into the future. We shall be the different people then.
Perhaps if my people had been continued to allowed to do what we are here to do, then perhaps your balance would already be done. But it was years and years ago that the Ignon were the ones to burn out the rat of the land.
Surely anger only grows.
Anger seeds.
and it becomes harder to control.
And yet, I control mine. For now.
For now. But that you will have to. You will have to return to your purpose one day. You cannot only be angry on the inside.
Bushker just kind of looks at Reed and shakes his hands off of much of the water as possible.
Do you?
Perhaps, Reed. Perhaps the land cries for balance.
Do you not think that you could be one of the ones to make that happen? Or are you just a mercenary?
I do what I do because I have to, Reed. You think I wanted to spend years in Teresa's? No. I do what I have to.
I think you were surviving, living rather than thriving.
I was surviving because it is what I am. To do what I do for those that I must. So they can survive. I do not do this for myself, Reed.
How do I talk to people?
I didn't quite catch that.
Hey, he was muttering something under his breath.
Oh.
That was on purpose.
Fair enough. I think at that point, Fushker's just going to stand up and walk back over to the rest of the group.
What has Leora been up to? Because I would like to go to where she is.
She has just been setting up her little bedroll and just chilling there and thinking about what all has happened throughout the day. So you are welcome to walk on over.
Yeah, I'll come over and start setting out my own things. How are you holding up, Leora?
Well, about 5 minutes into Talani, and we've already had to fight somebody, so a little nervous, but hopefully we are correct in thinking that while we may face more fights here, they won't be after us for the same reasons that the auntie or anybody else has been.
I don't know, Leora. I think we are just in danger, and that's how it is. But I do need to apologize to you specifically in that regard. I should not have asked Ciaran about the choir folk before approaching you. I guess I wasn't aware how dangerous it was. The Yonti that apprehended me this morning was asking if I was traveling with one. And I don't believe it knew you, but it's far too close for comfort. and I don't think Talani will be a safe haven, not from Yanti.
I doubt it will as well, but be that as it may, hopefully it will lead us to Estelheim a little bit faster than the Ochre Kingdom would have.
Hopefully it will. I wish to continue, or properly begin, I suppose, our research of your people. I just hope we can find a way to do so safely. I think there are eyes looking for you that I was not previously aware of, but I suppose it makes sense.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting anybody else to know. I mean, I had shown you guys, but I mean, I get that's on me for thinking that we were alone at peace and safe for even 5 minutes. But I would like to, yes, I would also like to do more research.
Can I ask you, the other day you spoke to Lorenz about a deity that I had never even heard of. Lesser deities are out there, I can accept that, but Muse, is this... I've been struggling to wrap my head around it since you spoke. What do you know of this god?
Not a lot. I wish I knew more. We will learn more. I know that she's my deity, the deity of the choir folk, that is. Um, she loves music. Well, at least that's what I gather, because anytime she is speaking to somebody, the little that I do know is that it's always had a bit of a musical lilt to the way that she speaks. It's always been very rhythmic and quite beautiful from what I hear. I think you would like her.
Yes, I suppose I would at that. But Leora, if you do not know of your people, who taught you of these things? Have you encountered this god yourself?
Not personally, but people do know of Muse. Some people do, anyway. The little that you do hear of Muse is usually... people usually talk about her like she's dead. And given how few of us, the choir folk that there are, I suppose that does make sense. But they talk about her as if they're grieving her, even though she's still around. The reason that I know of her is mostly due to the family that adopted me, the couple that adopted me. They wanted to keep me safe, and they knew that, you know, given what I was, they had to do all the research that they could, which granted wasn't a lot. But I know a few things, like the sign on the door with the snake. I know that the Auntie are the reason that I have been in hiding. I know that there are very few of us, and I know that Muse is still out there and still going. I don't know for how long she'll be around, considering how dire everybody tends to sound about her, but
Well, I would say I don't know how easily killed gods are, but I suppose it is possible. Yet you make two claims that I really do trouble to wrap my head around. You say Muse is the god of your people, the choir folk, and that I can accept, but you also claim to Lawrence in the same instance that the choir folk existed on the stained grasslands prior to the arrival of the great deities, that your people were here with the Vulpanals and lizard folk in ancient times. Is that correct?
Yes. I don't yet know how Muse decided to become the deity or the patron of my people. But those two things, while they don't necessarily make a lot of sense, are both true.
Then we absolutely must research more. You know, Leora, history claims that there were no gods prior to the great deities. The lizard folk do not have them. Vulpanals worship none beyond perhaps the stars themselves. But if there was a being who ascended, perhaps afterwards, that could flip much of understood history on its head. I hope there is more to learn. If she can speak to us through the stone, through Lorenz, whatever she did, there might be something. Maybe I'm grasping at anything that could aid us, but there has to be something there.
I would like to say that there is something there, but I've spent my entire life up until this point just hoping that Muse still existed. I spent the entirety of my life up until this point hoping that other choir folk still existed. All of this is very new to me as well. And I just hope that not all of them are what Lord Sinai was.
I don't know the mechanics behind it, but have you considered perhaps Lord Sinai was everything he needed to be to survive? If Yuan-Ti are hunting your kind after hundreds of years, I don't agree with his methods, but they could have at least originated out of desperation.
I imagine that to be true. Our numbers are so small and so few. They were a mythos to me, the same as they were to anybody else who had ever heard a rumor about them. So I have to imagine that they're not all like that. And I have to imagine that they did what they had to do to survive, like I did. Granted, I think that my method is a little more friendly, but I don't know.
Yes, I would say so. But Lord Sinai is also less of a secret. But in any case, we will learn more. I think we should have some good resources in Estelheim, and should we get back to the sands, we will have great ones. We will, together, learn what we can.
And until then, I will keep my staff, keep my necklace, and pray that we don't come across any more snakes.
I will do the same as far as that last point goes. And Leora, I don't know when and I don't know where or how, but we will get you in the air. It is something you must experience.
I would like to.
This is true, Reed. I think after that I will just keep setting up my camp.
After about 30 minutes, you will hear the gnoll call out, "Food is prepared. Bison stew."
Jane will walk over and grab some.
What is the food specifically?
Bison
You just
stew.
like bison stew.
Bison stew. Oh, bison stew. I couldn't understand the accent.
What's for
Yeah.
not being able to understand an
He'll
accent?
he'll like ladle some and shakily hand the first bowl to Frost, just kind of grimacing. Sorry, not Frost. Chain.
Let's see, who's Frost? Who is this infiltrator in the party?
It's a Leonid / tiger sorcerer.
Wow.
Well, actually, Frost would probably be a Vulpinal dragon, draconic bloodline sorcerer.
Well,
Technically.
no, I was talking about Frost from the TikToks.
Oh,
The
you're talking about
tiger.
Morning
Morning
Frost.
Frost. The other Frost is just a mononym.
Who's number 2? Come on, form a line.
I will come get some, but not in a hurry. So I'm probably not number 2.
I'll have Foshker be number 2.
Flushka walks up, Reed ladles some into a bowl. Holds it out unsteadily.
Foshker takes it, sniffs at it, takes a small bite of it, and then moves off to the side, sits down, and pulls out his pouch of spice and sprinkles some in.
Lorenz has his shirt and little cloak by the fire to dry after washing it. He approaches Reed for some food.
Reed will take the ladle, dip it into the soup, have a bowl in the other hand. Just kind of snarls, stomps his foot, throws the bowl on the ground, says, "Serve yourself!"
Oh my god.
What?
What a diva.
All right.
What upset the gnoll this time?
He's just a special snowflake.
Aren't we all?
He will back away, turn around, stop facing everyone.
Well, Lorenz will take it into his own hands and scoop some into a bowl for himself and walk on by to Foshkra because he can smell the spices.
Foshker holds the pouch open out to him as he passes by.
He sprinkles some in the bowl and immediately eats it.
Yes.
Insane. Ruining my soup.
We are just giving it a
You ruined it with your bad attitude.
we're giving it a sprinkle of home, okay?
My bad
We're
attitude is the
improving.
greatest spice.
I will
What?
get some soup and eat it as the gnoll intended.
Likewise.
Finn is the perfect customer. No matter how bad Reed's cooking actually is, it's probably good to somebody who eats garbage.
There is a lot you can do with garbage and a casting of purified food and drink.
You had purified food and drink?
Yeah!
I just ate raw garbage.
Uh,
The way God intended. And by God, I mean fucking Kamara.
It's always Kavara's fault.
It is Kamara's fault.
Every time.
Somehow.
and
And if
after,
it's not Kavara's fault, it's Fenton's fault.
after a few
Which, yeah.
moments, Reed will just pace back and forward, being very unhappy with himself.
Reed, what is the matter? Why are you spiking bowls of soup and pacing?
I do not like the way I feel about this.
About what?
Do you know what happened to my staff?
No, you wandered off into the woods and then came back without it.
He broke when I was mauling a tree with it because I did not like how I felt, and it had to get out of my head when people were crying.
Who was crying?
Not you. You're too busy hiding. The others. The foxes.
Calm down. I don't hate everybody. But why?
I understand what my path in life is, and there's certain distances I need to keep. Hearts cannot be too close. My terrible realization I have come to. I think I have family.
And that's terrible?
Terrible.
I mean, I know families can not always be great, but why is it terrible you have family?
What am I, Jane? What am I becoming?
Is this like a metaphorical question? Because I mean, if you want like a literal answer, I mean, you're a gnoll, you're a druid.
What am I becoming?
Uh,
I'm a half thing, Jane. I'm half a gnoll, and I'm half something else, and the something else is what is growing, and the gnoll is shrinking, and I am happy to not be null in a way that can help fix things that are broken with the world, but one should not love the undead.
Throw a spoonful of food. Foshker just like,
Didn't the Nubians say you weren't fully dead yet?
Not yet. I don't know. Sometimes I dream in my hours of staring into the sky. I can see a cornucopia of life. Sometimes I see bones. I don't know where I am going, but I know none of you should follow me. So I shakes his head and punches it a couple times. I cannot trouble all of you with the ramblings of a half thing. Just know I am temporary. I do not think I want it to be close. Not as a null, not as what I turn into, because it's all going to wither. Should not love the undead.
Isn't something that we can just fix with the crown, like everything else?
I can hope. I do all of this because Talani has given me a purpose. So I give myself to that purpose. I do not yet see where the crown of stars fits. All I know is that we will find allies in Estelheim, and all of you are necessary.
So you're saying that you're sure that this crown can fix Talani, but nothing else?
I do not know where the crown fits. I do not know which head is the right one.
I think we have a good long time before we have to worry about such a detail.
Yes, please forgive me my I feel like the old self, the old Reed is restless.
I do not wish to calm him down in that case. He is one I would very much like to meet more.
Then eat, but do not thank me. I do this because it is a necessary thing.
You desire to see us change. You desire for us to trust and rely on one another. You must also allow for deeper bonds to form, because I think it is inevitable should those other two things occur.
Would you form a deep bond with a snowflake that falls on your hand?
If I traveled to the end of the world with that snowflake, perhaps it would be worthwhile.
Just stop being so poetic.
You're one to speak, Reed.
Speak too much.
Then soup will do for now.
Break the
Throughout all
wall.
my throughout all the years I spent in Teresa's, I have never heard a Nor say thank you for anything. I believe this might be part of what Reed is talking about. and why it bothers him. I think if any Nor showed any kindness, I think they were killed by the others for being weak. At least that is what I saw.
There is more. But yes,
But you are not surrounded by gnolls, Reed.
no, and I am changed.
You have changed, and you ask others to change. So change some more. And get me another boar.
Snarls, but surprisingly, it appears being directly fucking commanded has improved his mood a little bit. As he stomps back to work. Yeah. Gets himself a bowl, which is probably going to be uneaten.
Because it'll just wind up in the scarf.
No, I have the scarf. He has bandages.
It'll feed something.
Reed will make Fel feel bad for the knoll.
Make us all feel bad.
And he is going to walk right up to where Fenton is sitting,
Sitting at this point, yeah.
stare down his snout at the bird. Sit down. And he's going to say, "Bird, break this wall."
The fourth wall.
I think we are working on it, Reed. I think there is progress already. If I had a wrecking ball I could take to your mind, I would do so. You understand that we are different creatures, yes, different races with different life stories and experiences. Perceptions of simple things are different for you and I.
You speak of a wisdom that children learn to differentiate themselves from the things they eat.
Not quite. I don't... The way you interact with the world, Reed, it's different from what I have seen from anyone else. And I think we're starting to learn why, and that does not make your way incorrect, mind you, but it's undoubtedly the origins of our misunderstandings.
It's this, he pokes his head. It's in there. I feel like feel like it needs to be taught again.
Perhaps it does if you are truly something new. Something that is not quite Reed and not quite whatever it is you become.
You want to put this away for now. You want to sleep and leave me to my thoughts, and I will come to change my opinion and not want to talk to you.
See here, I think we may have hit it again. May you speak again? May you say the same words different? What is it you are telling me?
This, the thoughts, the emotions will be swept away by time, chaos, and I do not know when they will return.
I value your perspectives, Reed. Whether they last the night or only a moment, if you have something to share at any time, I very much encourage you to do so. The insights of a mind so unlike my own are invaluable, and when you speak and you are not understood, that is not something that I wish to simply fade away. I do wish to understand you. I hope you believe that much.
But it you can't, and it will be a very long time. You. I don't want empathy, I want actions.
It may be a long time, Reed.
Waste of an evening. Waste of my time. We don't get up and leave. And by leave, I mean like walk 10 feet away and then start staring at a wall.
Fenton will just return to his soup in silence.
If no one else is gonna do anything while we eat,
Good soup.
Last
I
call,
will-
last call.
I'll take that as a no. But please interrupt me if you say yes, you like to interject or have something else done. But Foshker finishing his second bowl is gonna put it down to the side, and he's gonna reach into his pack, and he's gonna pull out one of the stone slabs, the recent one that he just received back in Ilusker. He's gonna read over it one more time, and then he's gonna look around at the rest of the group.
I received some word, some news, when I was at the Grassbloods. I imagine that some of it will be of interest, particularly to you, Lawrence. But I also wish to ask a question of everybody here. But first, the news. My brother writes to me from the sands. He speaks of change. The Grassbloods have taken Sir Capet, and the Leonin slaver has taken Kalek from the Dragonborn wizard. My people have been given sanctuary. Sanctuary in the sun, sanctuary in our own home. A tabaxi named Rock. has taken Uda Aziz and has asked something of my people. I do not know this name.
Rook of the Sky?
My brother only says the name Rook. A female tabaxi.
Yes, I assume it's the same. She was previously lord over one of the other cities in the sands. I'm somewhat surprised to hear of her expanding her territories.
I believe she is after Bazagdara.
That would check out. She has a unpleasant history, as far as I understand, with Rose.
What kind of person is this Rook to ask something of my people?
Truthfully, I do not know much more than I say. She's a duelist. I've seen her fight in Estelheim before. That's about all.
He looks over at Lawrence.
Lawrence looks back. What?
You are from the Sands. Do you know of this Rook?
I've heard stories. She was she was a slave who earned her freedom through a duel. And now she for one reason or another wishes to enact vengeance, or so the stories say. Rumors.
Do you know what city she had before Uda Aziz?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Hmm.
Rook, I believe, was trade lord for the city of Broken Glass.
Hearing that, Foshkra is now glaring at Fenton.
Yes?
She owns the city of broken glass.
As I understand it, I have never been.
I will say I have seen its walls from the outside many times. Do you know that no Ignan is allowed foot inside that city?
I was not aware. Why is that?
I do not know truth, but it is a story. One I once shared with Guel. But to deny my people entry to one of the oases of our homes. And now she comes, and now she asks for us to aid her in taking more. She does not sound like one who would be honorable with my people. as she has already denied us that which was originally ours in the first place. That and more. I believe I have my answer to give my brother. Thank you.
The request made from Rook was for your people to aid her in what, overtaking Bazigdara?
She wants to destroy Bazagdara.
Hmm.
And what would one want with a destroyed city? But still, she gives sanctuary to my people, to my family. How long will sanctuary last if they deny? And with the Crossbloods now moving in on the Suns, they have never done that before.
He's like picking at the corner of the tablet with the claw on his thumb.
I don't understand much more regarding the political situations in the sands. Cities shift. Is there a drawback if your people do not get involved?
I do not know. I can only guess. I can only think of what may. I can only remember past deals struck. My people aided the Tabaxi, who first came to the sands. We taught them how to survive, only for them to build cities and walls around the water, and say that we were not allowed to have it anymore. We have helped before, and every time we have helped the child races in the suns, tried to show kindness, we have always paid a price. But now, this Rook says she safeguards my people, invites them onto the land of Uda Aziz, and then asks them to help her take Bazagdara, just as the Crossbloods move on and take Sarkapet. So soon after I was threatened with the life of my brother. The implications I think of, they do not end well. Do not know if they are. It's merely circumstance. Or if this is the Jackal's foul hand behind it.
He takes a deep, steadying breath.
Apologies. I fear for the safety of my family.
I understand. I thank you for sharing as much. We will keep an ear out. Truthfully, I do not know what more we can do from our current position, but I agree with your thinking of encouraging your people not to engage with Rook. But again, I don't know the situation very well.
He just nods slowly and puts the tablet away.
I will need to find another way to send a letter. I do not think I can trust the Crossbloods to send it. But they're the only ones I know who can.
Once we get to Estelheim, you should be able to find more keepers who can send, as they did in the Twin Blades. Or perhaps more options as far as carriers go.
But the keepers are in Basagdara, are they not?
They are, yes.
And if I send a message of warning, telling my people not to join Rook, what would happen if the keepers decided that my people were now a threat?
The
Just for merely being alongside the one who wishes to destroy them.
The keepers do not take sides, Voshkra. That is very much outside of the realm of possibility. They will take the information to where it is intended to go.
Is Basagdara not their home? Do they not live there? Do they not have families there? You tell me one man, one person in the land who would throw all morals and oaths aside to protect their home and family.
There have been changes in Bazigdara many times. The keepers are mostly located in Bazigdara, yes, but very few are native. They come for a year, maybe two, and they leave for 4 or 5. It is not my home. I do treasure it, but the situation is likewise for most keepers. If you are concerned about it, I'm sure we can find another way to send a message, but...
You see him just kind of like picking at his forehead, trying to think.
I do not know. Do not
Well,
know.
we don't need to know quite yet anyways. I don't think we'll have any options at all until Estelheim.
Until then, I must sit and wait, out of reach. It is unsettling to know that someone that you need to protect is too far away and danger is close. And I cannot act fast enough.
I believe I understand.
I believe I shall go and walk the tunnel.
Wait, before you go, speaking of the the Crossbloods, before Lorenz forgot half the day, didn't you say that there's something involving Lorenz too before?
The message, what I thought Lorenz would be interested in was the movings of the sands. I did not know what city Lorenz comes from, or if one of the ones named in my brother's letter would be one that would affect him or his family.
You don't have to worry about that.
Out of character, wasn't there also something about like a bounty being placed on Lorenz for his earrings that's like being held back?
Oh, right.
Mhm.
So after saying that, Foshkra takes another step, turns away, takes another step, and then stops.
Right. Lorenz, the Crossbloods have a contract to claim your head, to claim the earrings you wear.
Of course.
But the contract is currently on hold because you are the holder of my contract. And as my contract was in place first, the Crossbloods will unknown that one first. For so long as the contract with me holds, the contract for your head will never be opened.
Wait. Someone wants Lorenz dead?
That is what was said.
Kind of a long shot, but did they say who?
That would be going against the morals of the Crossbloods. They do not name the contractor.
Morals are not. I know who it is. Oh, I know.
Do you care to share?
In your brother's letter, he mentioned a slaver taking over Kalak. That's him. He placed the contract on me.
And for those who aren't versed in the sands,
Is a name you're unlikely to have heard. Mahez.
Maz,
However you want to say it. I have no respect for the man enough to pronounce anything right.
out of character, I was just, I think that's what you said. Chain of course would be saying it exactly how you did.
I was trying to say Mahez.
Mahez.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Mahez, but depressed. One day we're gonna see you smile.
Oh, it'll be a sad day.
You're telling me he didn't smile after hearing Muse?
No, he just broke down into tears.
Wait,
They
no,
weren't happy
Lauren.
tears?
Lawrence did smile.
He did?
Yes, when
Ah!
when Foshkra made him the soup and gave him the spice.
Yeah, he did.
No wonder I
That
ran
was
off
an
and
insane
broke
day.
something good.
See, all you need is Big Brother Foshker soup.
Yes.
Happiness. No, grr. Edgy.
Reed is the only one who's trying to fight back against the happiness. Hmm. But yeah, if that conversation's wrapped up, Foshker's gonna go and walk walk along the outside tunnel, just mostly just looking up and staring at the murals, trying to calm down.
I think Fenton will get cozy in his bedroll and sit up straight and start journaling a bit, but he loses interest pretty fast and goes to sleep.
Sleepy bird.
Sleepy bird, so tired after making us have to flee another city.
No, it's not that.
Lorenz will try to get somewhat comfortable, but he's not going to be able to sleep all that well.
No one else tries talking to Chain. The thing that I want him to do next would require Fel to be here.
Yeah. Foshker still needs to have a conversation with Shane. He still needs to clear his head after the whole fucking thing in Geras.
Back into the circle.
I'm not getting in the fucking circle.
It's not the circle.
The
Fenton already told
circle.
Foshker that Shane and Lawrence was under the same spell, so Foshker wants to talk to him about it.
Oh, Chain's there.
Yeah, just not right now. Foshker's already had his open heart moment. You get one a day from the lizard.
Open heart moment.
What an
Oh, boy.
arbitrary rule.
You know, I could probably do that with only like 2 or 3 lost hit points.
Oh my god.
Step into the circle and find out.
Let's get real close.
Is that where we'd like to put a pin in it for the night then?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The middle of
I
the
guess.
night. The only
That
sounds
was-
in the cave are going to be Reed putting away the food.
Yeah. Leora,
Yes.
you doing anything to go to bed or trying to get a last word with anybody?
No last words tonight. I think everybody's kind of been through enough today. She's just gonna walk over or stand up and adjust her little bedroll, move it a little bit closer to the rest of the group, and lay back down and try to get comfy and just stare up at the ceiling, wishing she could see stars.
Uncomfy cave.
Well,
Uncomfy.
with the fluorescent mushrooms that Fell says are down here, it might look like some stars on the ceiling.
It's not the same.
It isn't the same. You're not a Volpinal, you wouldn't understand.
Imagine needing stars.
She's not a
for
Volpinal
comfort.
either.
Don't worry about yourself.
Stay in your own lane.
I am. I'm out in the tunnel looking at the murals of my people.
If everyone is settling in and Fushkra is out and about, but Reed is still cleaning things, Reed, can you roll a perception check?
Oh, is this from Fell?
Oh, I love
Were you
this.
given
No, I
secret-
wish it was from Fel. This is just for my sake. Okay, that's
21.
pretty good.
Is it the-
Fenton is very softly having a little cry on this night.
Oh.
Cry, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Fenton.
His girlfriend ended up being a snake.
It's amazing that
It's rough.
Fenton was able to compartmentalize his own troubles to just talk to other people.
Learning things is the only thing that keeps him plugged in.
Information is a good distraction if it comes from outside and not inside.
Correct.
Well, no chain lordom tonight. Everybody blame Fenton.
Not Fel at all. It's got to be me. Fel had me roll a perception check privately to see if I saw Taraji or not, and I rolled a 21. So we'll blame that dice roll.
All right, everyone good to stop recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.